Hello there, honey. Y'all all right? Listen, real quick, I just want to share something with y'all. I had emergency dental surgery yesterday, so I try not to drool. But I was up all night, like off and on, because I was a little bit uncomfortable. And in my moments of being awake and sleep, really, God was dealing with me and talking to me about some things. He gave me two words. He gave me storms and he gave me bandages. And I was like, okay, Lord, really deposit into me what it is I need to take from this. And so when I woke up, finally this morning, he said, I need you to give the people a word about storms. And so I said, okay. And so he reminded me, he said, remember, I'm from North Carolina, right? So, in the summertime, honey, it ain't nothing to have a thunderstorm in the middle of the day. And, all of a sudden you see them clouds, you be like, oh, storm coming, y'all. Everybody turn them TVs off, turn them lights off. Granted, them ain't gonna let you have no electricity on when the thunderstorm hit, right? And the storm would come and it would rain and it'd be quiet in the house, honey. And if you was lucky, you might have had a tin roof and you could hear that and there would be some good sleep, honey. That little nap would be good. And the storm would come and it would pass. And afterwards, sometimes you might even spot a rainbow, okay? And then it would even cool off the heat. And everything would just be pretty as the sun came back out. And, the grass would be shining. You just have a new smell outside. It was just a beautiful, day even after the storm. So that's one version of a storm. But God said there's also other storms that sometimes we get notice about, like tropical storms or hurricanes, weeks in advance. The news will come on and say, oh, we have a bad storm that's coming. We weeks away, but we go monitor it, right? We get notice of the storm. And while we get notice of the storm, we also start to prepare. People go out to the grocery store and they buy all the things for groceries just in case. And then as the storm increases in power, and the news may change and they say, listen, this storm is going to be a different category than we thought. We are going to suggest that people in certain areas evacuate, right? Which means you got to leave your home. And some people, they don't like that and they want to weather the storm. No, I don't want to leave my home. I'm going to stay here. And then that's a risk that you have to take. It's a risk. Some people have risked it and survived through the damage. Some people have risked it and lost their life, right? But some people, they evacuate and they leave and go to safety and wait for the storm to pass before they come back. And sometimes the storms will come and it won't be as bad as they thought. And it will be damaged, but you can still see, your house is still there and maybe the windows got knocked out and maybe some siding on the house fell off, whatever the case may be. But you can go back, you can repair and all that stuff. But then sometimes storms will come and it can wipe out a whole city. A community can be like it never was there before. You can't even see where the house once stood. Every now and then you can still see foundation, right? Because if your foundation is sturdy and if it was laid right, you can see where the house once was. Then you have a decision to make. Then people say, I'm going to rebuild. Or some people say, I'm going to take the money that my insurance company or whomever gives me, and I'm going to relocate. I'm not going to stay here where the storm hit and tore everything up. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the pieces and I'm going to relocate and rebuild somewhere else. Storms can make us move different ways. In our life, we're not talking about the houses, we're talking about our life. Storms can come and they can be a quick, temporary, beautiful thing that brings a rainbow, right? You get a good nap. But some storms can come and they can test your faith a little bit. You might decide to weather the storm and maybe not too much damage will be done in your life. And you're all right with, fixing some windows and things. But sometimes storms can come and tear every single thing up that you built. And you have to make a decision. Do you rebuild from there? Or is it time to relocate and start completely over? That's not for you to tell me. That's for you to tell you. God was so clear to me. He said that somebody keeps trying to rebuild in a place where there is no more foundation. You're trying to build in a place where The storm, no matter how many times you try to rebuild, the storms, the proof that the storm left, all the residue that the storm left, it ain't never going away. It's going to show you that every time you try to build it, honey, it ain't going to get right. The storm damaged it so much, it is beyond repair right there. So you're going to have to make a decision. Do you want to keep on repeating yourself, trying to figure it out and trying to figure out why is it not standing? Why is it not working here anymore? Or are you going to take the signs and go ahead and relocate so that you can rebuild within here? Okay? I'm using the analogy that God gave me as the house, but you are the house. Your life is your house. It may be time for you to relocate and start rebuilding elsewhere. Okay? So that you can be strong enough for next time when a storm comes. You might be able to weather it, but you'll also know when to take cover, when to evacuate, and when to come back outside just to see if maybe there's a rainbow waiting for you. But it's time for you to do some work. Okay? Don't ignore all the signs. All right? The storm brings us signs. We just got to pay attention. That's it. I know this was long. And Lord, I hope I did your will. I'm going to finish cutting this water bill that I was supposed to be cutting up for me and my son here. And y'all going about y'all business and have the most amazing day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's here. Very good. I love you. I'll talk to you later.